Yay! Here we are. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, so that's perfect, Reese. Okay, just turn on the volume. Hello, MacNeal.
Hi, Selena.
How are you today?
No complaints. Busy as ever. Thankful.
Well,
Thankful to be alive.
That is very good. Some people are not.
Right.
So I'm going to be referring to you as Mac because that's kind of what I like to refer to you as. Is that okay?
That's what everybody refers to me as.
Excellent. So I hope that we have some people joining us. It is now 6:03 and maybe we might get into a little something. I wanted to, so, you know, the reason I'm doing these lives, I don't know if you knew that, and this is obviously only my 5th live, but I realized that, you know, the climate is just very, very different right now. And people are a little uncertain about where things are and what they're going to do and things like that. And just really uncertain about where things are going. So if we can provide as professionals, people with information that is going to be valuable to them and give them a moment, then I think we've done what we need to do. So I'm so happy. Thank you, by the way, for agreeing to come on here with me today. I want to introduce MacNeal first. Well, I guess I should introduce myself in case people don't know me. My name is Selena Pollard-Scott. I'm with New Street Realty. I have been a realtor for about 26 years. It is my enduring passion, whether buying, selling, investing. I love servicing my clients and I love every aspect of the business, actually, except one thing. I do not like putting down and picking up open house signs. I hate that. But other than that, I love negotiating and all that kind of stuff. So my word for the year is pivot. People have heard me say this already, and I've created an acronym for it. And my acronym is persevere in very opposing times.
Love it.
And I think this is where we are. Some days are great and some days not so much. We have a couple of things that are, you know, changing the climate right now, and maybe we'll get into a little bit of that right at the end of our conversation. So welcome, Mac. I want to do a proper introduction to you. I want to say to those who are joining us, thank you very much for taking the time out of your evening to join us. We like to keep this live to a 30-minute segment. If you have questions that are not being addressed here, or if you want to add some questions in the comments, Marie is watching. Good evening, Marie. Then, you know, please put them in the comments, or I will be putting MacNeal's email address and mine when we do the post for the live, and you can contact us directly. Yes, MacNeal?
Works for me.
Excellent. Okay. So I don't know if any of you can tell, but my friend here, MacNeal, is from Barbados. Woo!
That's right. There we go.
Something in common. Great island and great people. We actually recently met because we both sit on the same board. It's the Donald Moore board, and it is an exciting community board. And, you know, we'll tell you a little bit more about that in another segment. But for today, we want to focus on finances, insurances, and things like that. So let me introduce MacNeal to you. Let me tell you a little bit about him. He is a life licensed financial planner who has been working with 5 of Canada's largest insurance and investment corporations since February 2015. He enjoys serving and building relationships, friendships, and with an extremely diverse clientele base, working with them through all facets of their insurance needs and wants by extension, and being honored to serve their loved ones as well. In 2018, wanting to provide a value-added service, he also then became certified in mutual and segregated funds. So folks, we are fortunate enough to have with us here today a full-service financial planner who assists families and professionals in building, protecting, preserving, and creating intergenerational wealth. Welcome, MacNeal. Thank you for joining us. Okay, thank you. I would like to jump in real quickly and start asking some questions that I know that you've been asked a lot lately and that I'm really interested in knowing the answer to. As you know, I don't ask you questions before because I want to really just hear it for the first time as well as my clients. So COVID-19, boom, drop, mic drop. Should people be concerned about getting their insurance payout right now relating to COVID-19?
Absolutely not. So insurance is based on a contract. And whatever is within the belly of that contract, when you signed it, is what has to be provided for upon your calling on it. And
Okay.
in a very simple sentence, the answer is no. What you will find, just to answer in fulsome, if you buy insurance today, there will be certain clauses that if you've traveled recently, if you've recently come back from the US or these types of countries, that you may not be eligible. But anything from before, no problem at all.
You are fine. That's actually a good point to note. So don't be traveling anywhere, people. All right. So hearing the market is really bad right now. Like, what would you as a financial planner, what would you speak on here? What kind of avenue would you speak on, and what would you advise your clients and your valued client and your family members?
Right. So if I was talking to you as though you were my sister, I would say to you that the market can be good or bad on any given day because the market fluctuates. It goes up, it goes down.
Sure.
The market can be good, it can be bad. Is this market a bad market? Absolutely not. I have clients today making more money in this market than they were making pre-COVID. The reason I can say that is Sunday night at 1 a.m. in the morning, I was looking through some profiles for clients I need to contact. And much to my surprise, people who were in what I would call conservative were up 8, 9, 10% on their portfolio in the middle of COVID.
Yes. I have for myself found in my industry that it is particularly active right now. I don't have the answer for it, but I just know that it is particularly active. So thank you for also providing that information from your perspective and where you sit. So tell me about mortgages, obviously being in real estate, mortgages and mortgage protection. What would you suggest as it pertains to that, MacNeal?
So when you say mortgages, as in going for a mortgage or protecting the mortgage?
Protecting the mortgage.
Yeah, so I am not one for mortgage protection. I am one for buying life insurance that is meant to take care of any facet of life if you should pass away. So I don't like mortgage protection at all. If you're going to buy a product, why only buy a product that decreases every year? So the value that your family is going to get is going to be lower. You continue to pay the same premium, and it is only meant to take care of one thing.
Right.
That doesn't make sense.
Now, can I ask you something? This is just as an aside. Isn't it also more expensive?
Mortgage insurance?
Yes. Mortgage
Sometimes,
protection.
Yeah,
okay.
sometimes 50%
so it can be
more expensive.
So it just makes more sense to just buy life insurance. And that, as you said, any incidental, God forbid, that will take care of. Okay.
100%.
Sounds good. So here's my question. What is the best type of life insurance?
There is no best type of life insurance because life insurance is based on application. It is like buying a car. You do not buy a front-wheel drive car if you're going to live in Muskoka in the winter.
Well, why not? No, I'm just kidding.
you get the idea because it's
going
to be winter. It's a lot. So life insurance spans all the different things that you want to take care of. I am a proponent for starting with the phases in life. If you're getting a mortgage, you want a term product because at some point your mortgage ends and then the need for that insurance ends. So you buy term, 10, 15, 20, 30 years. If you are planning that when you pass away, you want to leave a sum of money for your family, you get a permanent whole life insurance. It is going to increase in value as you pay. And within 20 years, you're going to stop paying the premiums for that, but it continue going until you die. If you are looking for something hybrid, you buy both at the same time. You just buy what you need. So I don't believe in subscribing to you should buy only this and not that. No, I think everybody's need is different. And my job is to work through that process with you.
Right. So like me, when you first meet a client, you sit down and you kind of establish with them, where are they in life? What are their goals? And then you as a professional suggest, okay, so this is what's going to be fitting to you at this point. But if we're talking about 20 years from now, then maybe we want to switch over to that. So that's basically what you're saying. Can't be the same. It's not cookie cut.
That's right. And I would just add one point to that.
Sure.
I like to ask my clients, you tell me what success looks like in 5 or 10 years. So tell me what I would have done right if you are at this place in 5 or 10 years. And that becomes the goalpost.
Right. That makes complete sense. You know what I ask my clients? What would make me your hero?
I like it. I may steal that. I think I'm going to make a note of that.
Feel free. Okay. So hearing ads on the radio, they talk about no fees or low fee companies. So what is your perspective? Do you charge fees for the services that you offer?
Absolutely. So the only reason that I can afford to send my family to school and my 4 daughters to college at some point in the future is if I have to charge some fees because I need to eat as well. I need to earn an income. But the difference between what we charge, to give you an example, And bear with me for a minute to explain. Most people who are investing don't have a lump sum of money to invest. The average person doesn't have $1 million to put into an investment.
Sure.
Some people don't even have 5,000. So
Mm-hmm.
let's just use the average guy. The average guy gives you $200 bi-weekly off of his pay, okay? If you go to one of these no-fee companies, here's what the trick is. They're going to charge you per transaction. So they don't call it a fee, they call it a transaction charge.
Mm-hmm.
So just for simple math, let's say for every $200 you put into your investment, they charge you $5. At the end of the month, that is $10.
Yes.
At the end of the year, by my math, that's $120.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Let's say I decide for this same work, I'm going to charge you 1 or 2% of what you're putting in.
Mm-hmm.
If you give me 1%, so if we do the same thing, 200 bi-weekly a month is 400, by the year is $4,800. If I charge you 1%, I only make $48 on it. Who is winning? Me or you? You are winning.
Right. Right.
Even if I charge 2%, it's only $96 to me.
Right. Right. And I think those are the things that people get caught up in. And I'm really happy that you explained that. I think one of the things, and I've seen this happen before, that there's this transactional fee that can just get way out of hand. So very, very good to hear that as well. I'm going to ask you such an unfair question right now, but maybe not. Maybe not. I want to know, and I know people want to know, what is the best way in your estimation to accumulate wealth?
Again, it can't be cookie cutter to accumulate wealth because everybody is at a different place in life. Let's look at two groups, the working class and the wealthy. The wealthy can accumulate because they already have something to start with.
Mm-hmm.
If you invest $1 million today, you are going to be so far ahead of the person that takes 20 years to get that same $1 million at that same point in the future. So the application for that person is different. Again, let's go back to the average man who may be listening today. The average man who is investing, his primary resident, maybe his biggest investment.
Mm-hmm.
So my goal is to first help them come up with that deposit for their mortgage.
Right.
And as they're paying that mortgage down and off, is to help them to save some money as they go along.
Right.
When they sell that house in retirement, because now that house is appreciating in value, my job is to take some of that money and say, hold on, we're not going to spend all this and buy a Ferrari. No. We're going to put some of this money aside for the children.
Ferrari. Right. And that's how you create intergenerational wealth, which is what we talked about. Let me just take a quick look here and just see if we have anybody who is, so, hey, Bev. Hey, Kathy Ann. Hi, Chanel. Good to know. Okay. Well, guys, thank you for joining us. So we don't have any questions at this point. Everybody's just saying, hey. So we'll continue on. I like what you just said. I think that, as you said, and not just wealth, but I guess wealth is wealth for me and wealth for you doesn't look the same.
That's right.
And again, you have to ask that question. What does it look like? What would how can I be your hero kind of thing? So yeah, so that's good. Again, you got to take what is going on right now in their life, because they may not even, as you said, be owning a home right now. And that's probably the first place to start. And then you want to move from there. And then you maybe want to take some equity out of there and things like that.
That's
okay.
Right. I mean,
now,
not only that, if you don't mind, I'll just add one quick
piece
to that.
Please do.
Just think about your life and the path that you have walked. Has it always been smooth? Have you achieved everything you want when you did? The financial planning process is exactly like that. So there's my job when you go through the ups and the downs to be there. Because there are times that along the go, you may say, Matt, I know we put aside this $20,000. We've accumulated this in the last whatever months and years, but I'm hitting a hard time. I need some money. It is my job to go through your finances and find out where we pull that money from. Do we pull it from your whole life insurance because there's some cash in there and pay it back over time? Do we pull it from your TFSA, which is the first line of defense? God forbid we got to go to your RSP. We never want to go there, but God forbid, then so be it.
Right. Okay. Now, so just a general question, like since COVID has begun, you just said a little while ago that you have been, like, even conservative people have been making money. So is there something that you've seen, has there been a fear factor that you've seen with any of your clients? Like, oh my gosh, like, what do I do? I want to pull out my money or whatever. Have you seen any of that happening?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
If you got, go ahead.
And if so, what is your advice?
So I'll give you a classic example. This actually happened.
Okay.
Client calls, Mac, what's going on with the account? I'm hearing about all this in the market and I'm very afraid I'd like to halt my money. So, okay, what are you going to do with it when you halt it? I don't know. I just want to halt it. I said, okay, when you mean halt, do you want to take it out? You want to leave it? What do you want? Do I want to take it out? I said, okay. If I told you that your market value is good, but the value as where the peg is set for today is down, do you still want to take that money out? No. I said, so there's nothing here to talk about. There's nothing to talk about. Your money is not drying up. Your money is not disappearing. I said, sir, the reason why the market is always one of the strongest things to have your money in is, let's go back even to the last crisis in 2008-9.
Right.
When the market came back at the end of 2010, we were on a bull run until there was a very small dip at the end of 2018. Just do the math between 2009 and 2018. Look at all of that was a bull run.
Right.
People who left invested money made 20, 30, 40% on their money.
Wow.
Compounded.
Right. Right. So the idea is, don't get nervous.
Not at all.
Don't get nervous. I like it. Okay. I just had a couple more questions, and then I wanted to touch on something that you spoke about yesterday, and I just wanted you to share that with the folks that are on with us. So, should a person buy life insurance for their children?
Yes. Do you want an explanation or just the answer?
I want the explanation.
So life insurance is based on habits, condition, and age. Okay. The younger you are, the less inexpensive insurance is. For those of us who want to make sure children get a head start that we ourselves might not have gotten, life insurance is one of the sure ways to do that. Give an example. You buy a permanent life insurance product for your child. Let's say you buy 100,000 and you struggle to pay whatever it is. Let's just say it's $100 a month as an example. If at the end of 20 years that insurance is paid up and you bought it when they were born, they're now 20 years old, 2 years into college, but they have $100,000 worth of life insurance that has $30,000 or $40,000 of cash value in it. That person goes to work and they work for a few more years. They become a diabetic. The moment you get diabetes or any of these illnesses, life insurance becomes more expensive, or you can't even qualify for it. Guess what? They have paid up life insurance. They don't need to qualify for anything and they have a head start. Let's say they want to come to you because they want to buy a house. Everybody knows you need a little deposit, minimum 5-10%.
Sure.
Guess where that deposit comes from? The cash value sitting inside the life insurance.
Right.
You have just set up that next generation for success.
Beautifully.
And all you did is just paid it every month.
Yes. Yes. I like it. I like it a lot. And I think, again, going to intergenerational wealth, I think is the key, right? The key to just, giving, as you said, giving everybody a heads up. So let me springboard, speaking of that, to something I heard you say yesterday. So, as I said at the beginning of this live, we are facing a couple of different crises right now. We are definitely having a huge conversation around COVID and who's doing what and who's doing not and who should do what and what not. And there needs to be a respect thing. It does not need to be political. But even bigger and closer to my heart, we are having massive conversations around people who are been systemically discriminated against, whether they be people from the LGBTQ community or people of color or women or whatever. So you said something yesterday, and I would love you to share this with my viewers right now, because I think it is such a wonderful challenge, and it really spoke to me about what everybody can be trying to do right now to bridge the divide, because there is a divide. For my entire life, I'm going to say this on live right now, I have tried to ignore it. I really have. And I think I've lived on an easier side of it because of my complexion and because of my, as the people say, good hair. And I know that I have probably escaped some things, and because, of different things. In any event, now is the time. Now is the time. Now is the time to push the needle forward. The needle has to move forward a whole lot more than it has in the past. And it's going to need us coming together. And how do we do that? And MacNeal, I would love you to share what you said yesterday about your challenge yesterday. And I'm going to challenge everybody who is watching this and everybody who watches the recording. Think about this and see if you can engage yourself into this.
So
The
yeah,
floor
so
is yours,
yesterday,
MacNeal.
thank you. So yesterday on my Tuesday podcast, Chit Chat with Matt, one of the things I like to start it with something positive. And I felt the need, having done a few of these Black Lives Matter rallies and speaking and becoming involved in the community work that I do, that we need to bridge the gap between all of the races and all of the sexes people. And one of the things I ask my community who watches religiously on Tuesdays to do is to go out and build friendships. Cast your mind back to whether it be 20, 30, 40, 60 years when you first went into elementary or primary school. And you were making friends, you sought out friends, you were building relationships. It didn't matter what that child looked like, you were just making friendships, and everybody was your best friend.
Yeah.
Let's fast forward to adulthood now. We don't all
Yes.
need best friends. You can't have 20 new best friends.
Yes.
The challenge, though, is for everybody to go and find one or two very close people that they can build a relationship with. And for Black people, it is finding people in the white and the Chinese and the brown community, in the LGBT community. If you're not Black and you're not white, you do it in the reverse. You find one of the other communities, the Black, whatever it is. And the reason for doing that is you want to be so focused on listening to what they have to say. Your job is to shut up and to listen and to let them express and explain to you their challenges in life. Even as a Black person, you got to listen to your white friends and let them share with you why they were so afraid to talk about this issue, why they were raised the way they were raised, the things that they conceptualize, whether it be truth or not. Mm-hmm. And I think the moment we start doing that, specifically for Black people, LGBTQ plus community, yes, what will happen is that as we start to share our experiences with people, the tone and the rhetoric will come down because people will start to understand. Because right, you will bring those people into your family. The last thing that I want to share on that, it just goes back to the same point I shared at the Grimsby rally I spoke at. If you walk a mile in my shoes, you will know how tight the fit is. I will not need to explain to you the problem. That's a simple thing to do. Walk a mile in my shoes.
How do I walk a mile in your shoes, MacNeal?
You don't want to walk in mine. I suggest you walk in yours. With 4 young daughters, you don't want to walk in these shoes at all.
Can you believe, guys, he has 4 young daughters? When did he start this? We don't want to get into that. Anyway, yeah, so I know I just made light of that, but it was so powerful and it spoke to me because we tend to stay in our comfort zone, particularly when we get older. We cannot be bothered. And I think now is the time, as you said, reach your hand over to somebody who is not like you, does not look like you, may not have the same type of beliefs, and have that conversation. But everybody has to be willing to do it, right? Absolutely. Everybody has to be willing to engage in this. So I'm gonna challenge, and it's 6:26, look at that. But I wanna challenge everybody watching this. We've gotta try. We've got to try. We've got to do something. We can't not. And I thought that was brilliant, MacNeal. I thought that was brilliant when I heard that. And that's why I wanted you to speak on that here. And, you know, I saw you with your Black Lives Matter when you spoke at that rally for like, it was just 2 minutes, but it was like a powerful 2 minutes. So that's why I can, you know, there are people who will have conversations, and this is not about Black, white, whatever. This is just, can we please bridge the divide as human beings with blood that is red through each of our skins? And if we can do that, we will be living in a much better place. And at least one of the viruses that has been plaguing our world will be addressed. So absolutely, that is what I have to say. Now I'm going to just look really quickly. I am not seeing, well, hey, Connie, thank you for saying, Connie, my friend Connie came in and she says, well, I don't have any questions because you guys are covering it all. So that means we're doing our job. So MacNeal, I really want to thank you for your time this afternoon. I know you're super busy. We spoke about how busy our day has been today and how busy we are as professionals. And I also want to thank those who did take the time to join us on this live. I truly, truly hope that you have found some information here that either you yourself can use or you can share with your loved ones. And I will be posting, I'm recording this, it will be getting posted on all the social channels. You can follow me and subscribe Selena Pollard on YouTube. And that is all. So that's it, folks. MacNeal, gracious, thank you, amazing. Thank you for joining me today. And
Thank
I'm
you.
going to put your details into the post, and so that people can contact you directly if they have any questions.
Sure. At the end of it, I'll send you my work email because I think you have my personal email.
Okay.
Because
All right.
I know you're at a different place. I'll give you my work email.
Okay. That's terrific. Well, MacNeal, thanks again.
Thank you.
You have a lovely evening and take good
And the
care.
same to you.
And thanks for joining, guys. Bye for now.
Bye.